welcome to the third video on percentage. This video also consists of questions that you can see on your GRE. So you should be familiar with the twist in the wordings of percentage questions. Now let us start with our first question. Okay, our first question is basically a statement and it says x is what percent of y. Now you can replace x or y with a number to get your desired result. Now x is what percent of y can be converted into an equation by simply following the statement, which is x means x is equal to what percent means 1 over 100 of y means into y. So x is equal to 1 over 100 into y. Simple. Okay, another statement says that increase 500 by 50%. Now increasing 500 by 50% means that we are basically going to multiply 500 by 1.5 because it has 500 has been increased by 50%. So the total is going to be 750. As we all know that 50% is half of any number. So half of 500 or 50% of 500 would be 250. So 500 into 1.5 is going to give us our desired answer, which is 750. Now when there are statements like increase by 50%, increase by 20%, increase by 30%, increase by 4%, etc., etc., what we're going to do is we're going to multiply it by 1 point the increase, right? So if it says increased by 50%, we're going to multiply our number with 1.5. If it says increased by 20%, we're going to multiply it by 1.20 and so on, right? Okay, let us see the different types of statements that we can get in our exam. Now, if a statement says x is 10% of y, we can convert it into an equation by writing it down as x is equal to 10 over 100 into y, and if we further simplify it by cancelling the extra zeros from the numerator and the denominator, we're going to get x is equal to 1 over 10 into y, right? Okay, another statement says that x is 33.33% more than y. More than y. This means that x is equal to 1.3333 of y, right? Very simple, because if y is 100, then what we're going to do is we're going to simply multiply 100 with 1.33, right? Okay, our third statement says that x is 33.33% less than y. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply subtract 33.33% by 100 and we're going to get 66.67, right, as an answer. And if x is 33.3% less than y, this means x is equal to 0.6667 of y, right? Okay, then we have a statement which says 40% of x is equal to 50% of y. So 40% of x means 40 over 100 into x is equal to sign 50% of y, which means 50 over 100 into y. And if we further simplify it, we're going to get 2 over 5 into x is equal to half of y. Now you can replace x with a number, you can replace y with a number to fully understand the concept behind this statement, right? Okay, this is a very interesting question. It is a beginner's level question and it has 2 parts. Okay, now our question says that if John's salary is 25% more than Martin's salary, this is one part of a question, and our second part of the question is then by what percent is Martin's salary less than John's salary? For your convenience, I have replaced John with X and Martin with Y, so that you can understand this question with more ease, right? Okay, now John's salary is 25% more than Martin's salary, means that X is equal to 1.25 of Y, means John's salary is 1.25 of Martin's, right? By what percent is Martin's salary less than John's, means that we have to find percent change, right? Simple, very simple. And for the percent change, we have the formula, which is original minus the change over original into 100%. So if we put this, put the numbers in the equation, what we're going to get is 20%, which means that Martin's salary is 20% less than John's, right? They're asking for Martin's salary, that what percent is Martin's salary less than John's salary. So keeping the original as 1.25, which is John's salary, we're going to get 20%. Y is 20% less than X, which means that Martin's salary is 20% less than John's, right? A very simple question, and it's a beginner's level question, right? It's not a middle level question or very high level question. Okay, now in order to understand the topic of percentage very well and to be prepared for any type of questions on GRE, you must be familiar with statement tracks. Now, one such example is given on this slide, which says if X is 40% of Y and Y is 70% of Z, then X is what percent of Z and X is what percent less than Z. Now, basically, you have to solve for this statement, right? And if you convert statement into an equation, you solve for part 1 and part 2 of the question. Simple. It is a very simple question. Now what you're going to do is you're going to convert the statement into an equation, and we're going to get two equations, right? By following the statement, which says if X is 40% of Y, which means X is equal to 40 over 100 into Y, or X is equal to 2 by 5 into Y. And then it says Y is 70% of Z, which means Y is equal to 70 over 100 into Z, or Y is equal to 7 over 10 into Z. Now replacing Y with 7 over 10 into Z in the equation X is equal to 40, X is equal to 2 over 5 into Y, we're going to get X is equal to 7 over 25 into Z, right? Now, the question is asking us, the first part of the question says X is what percent of Z. What we're going to do is we're going to simply multiply the same 7 over 25 Z with 100, and we're going to get 28%. So this means that X is equal to 28% of Z. You see, they're asking us to they're asking us for the percentage of Z. So percentage means into 100, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply 7 over 25 into Z with 100, and 25 into 4 is 100. So 7 into 24 gives us 28, and we're going to write percent with it because we've already multiplied it with 100. So X is 28% of Z. The second part says that X is what percent less than Z. It is very simple. You see, if X is 28% of Z, this means that we're going to simply subtract 100 by 28, and we're going to get 72. So X is 72% less than Z. Obviously, if X is 28% of Z, this means that X is 72% less than Z. Very simple, right? We only needed to simplify the statement. That is it. And you know, we can solve for the first and the second part of the question very easily. Okay, this question says that P is equal to AB, which means that P is a product of two variables, that is A and B. Now, if A increases by 20%, by what percent should B decrease to keep the product constant? Very interesting question. A increases by 20% means that A is equal to 1.20, which is equal to 120 over 100, which is equal to 6 over 5, right? Now, an increase in A means a similar decrease in B, which means that if A is increased by 6 over 5, then B will decrease by 5 over 6, right? Simple, because 6 over 5 into 5 over 6, everything will cancel out and we're going to get AB in the end, right? Which is the same as B. Now, the question is asking us for the percentage decrease in B, right? And percentage decrease in B means we're going to write it down in an equation form. So B will decrease by 1 minus 5 over 6. 5 over 6 is the decrease, right? The decrease in B into 100%. Now, if there was this question which had asked for a percentage increase, right? Like if A decreases by 20%, by what percent should B increase to keep the product constant? Then we would have added 5 over 6 with 1, right? But over here it is asking for a percentage decrease in B, so we're going to write it down as 1 minus 5 over 6 into 100%. So 1 minus 5 over 6 gives us 1 over 6, and our percentage decrease in B is going to be 16.6667%. So when there is an increase of 20% in A, there is going to be a 16.6667% decrease in B. You got it? I know this is a little, this question is a little tough, but in case of any confusion, just leave a comment below this video so that I can see and answer your query, or answer, you know, clear away your confusions, whatever you know, whatever problem you're going through in understanding this question, because this question is very important and you may come, it is a middle level question of GRE, so you should be well prepared for it, right? So you should understand it well, you should prepare these concepts very well.